This is a short appendix on how to sharpen your pencils. I use pastel pencils as much as I use Schmincke pastels as well. And the pastel pencils, along with charcoals and Wolf's Carbons, are beautiful to work with because the pastel pencils, they give you they're harder than the Schminckes. Schminckes are very soft, and so they're perfect for the top coats, the second or third layer of pastels. But in the drawing stage, particularly with fine portraits, I like to use the pastel pencils, and these are General's pit pastels. In sharpening them, rather than using a normal pencil sharpener, I like to get a long fine point. So I use a blade, just any sort of box cutter will do. The very, very fine ones aren't as sturdy and don't give you as much control on the sharpening as something slightly heavier. So this is one I would recommend. And when you are sharpening it, the aim is just to take the wood off, very, very simply. This takes a bit of practice. I'm doing it quite quickly because I'm quite used to doing this type of sharpening. And what I suggest you do is make sure that as you're sharpening it, as you can see the way I'm doing it, it's a skill that takes a bit of time. And if you practice on a box of pastel pencils, you should get it done. You should have good practice by the time you've gotten to about the 20th pencil. Once you've got the wood off it, then it's just a matter of getting a bit of sandpaper and sharpening it down to a nice point. Not as sharp as you need to use it like a lethal weapon, but a nice sharp point. The sandpaper I'm using is just a typical generic one from a hardware store. You can buy them in sheets, cut them up into strips like this, use a little bulldog clip on the end, and then you can note that the thickness, the volume of this means that you've got a little bit of body there and a little bit of firmness to rub the pencil point down on. If you look after your pastels, I also suggest that you try and afford the best quality materials you can. The better the tools, if you're working with poor tools, your work will also suffer. So these pit pastel pencils are particularly good because they have soft wood and a hard lead. If you go for some types of brands which have a very hard wood and soft lead, you'll find that in sharpening the pencil tip that you might end up taking the lead out each time because it's hard to take the wood off. Also, just another point, as you're sharpening it, you turn the pencil around as you're whittling off the wood. So you're turning and whittling, and I'm using my thumb to guide it. So just note, that's the action. The action is pushing the blade away from the wood and not trying to cut into the wood, but actually trying to lift the wood off the lead. Like I said, it'll take some practice, but practice makes perfect.